Yo, what's going on, guys? Song for Two here, or Chess from Lost Ark. Today, I've got a new video. It's a new year. Been mostly posting gameplays of just the kazeros raid in Act 4 that have come out recently, but today, thought I'd do a roster update video since we are now post kazeros. A lot of people, it might have been the end of the road for them here. A lot of people might be slowing down with the game. So I thought I'd just give an update with how I'm doing, where my roster stands, and what's kind of the plan going forward. Now that we've beaten Kazaros and we're kind of going through the next vertical progression system. So again, if you like these sort of videos, be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Definitely helps. And let's get right into it. So um, just for context, I cleared Kazaros, and well, we got really close in week 1 or week 2, and then we ended up clearing like the first couple days in week 3. So we got the week like 3-4 title. No biggie. But it was a fight that was very rewarding, and personally, Gate 2 is a bit of a snooze fest. Gate 1 is pretty fun, reminds me of Thaymine Gate 3. Um, but yeah, Gate 2 is a bit of a snooze fest until you hit phase 2-2 and 2-3. Act 4 personally, Gate 1 seems pretty similar to Thaymine Gate 1. It's just got a lot of annoying patterns, and Gate 2 is where I think it's a little bit more fun per se. But yeah, right now I think I've got a roster that's pretty high level, I think, for free to play, right? I've got my main sitting at 1740, my bard sitting at 1720, and then I've got a Valk that I pushed up to 1730. My Slayer is 1726, and then I've got my War Dancer and Artist is kind of sitting around 17, between like 1700 to 1715. Like, if I'll be completely honest, the only time I ever push my War Dancer and my Artist are with Bound Gold and kind of just through Paradise. Um, Same thing with kind of my Bard at this point. The only two characters I'm really pushing with Unbound Gold are my main and my Valk. And then my Slayer is just, I don't have the DPS engraving books, or kind of the, you know, I don't think I have the DPS hands to really show up in like a hard mode Kazeros, right? So really I'm just kind of running with like these three main supports right now, and then DPS whenever I can get into a party, right? Um, I've maxed out on all the support like engraving books, and I've got really good gems across my support characters at least. Um, but for DPS, it's a little bit of a struggle. So it's starting to feel like I'm really only able to place support at kind of the higher level, until like the full final nerfs really come in for me to like play DPS comfortably, right? So yeah, there's my top 6, and then my next 4 characters. I've got my Arrow, my Alt Paladin, and then my Arcana, my Soul Eater. Like, these are characters I pretty much don't play anymore. Like, I'll do like Paradise on the minimum, but that's about it. The Arrow is the only character that I use like the newest Power Pass on. So she was able to push up to 1700 on pretty much bound gold and stuff, and that's where I'm parking her for now. So yeah, let's get right into it. I know I've got a few new things to show off. I might just, when we do like go through like the character builds and stuff as part of this video, maybe I'll go through the Uwu site, just to kind of give the better overall view of how my characters stand at this point. Um, yeah, let's just go through and check like my collectibles and all that stuff, because I know people are curious if I've actually like progressed and stuff in some of that regard. I know like we've gotten a few more achievements, and a few more additional titles and all that stuff that people like to see. So let's quickly just run through that as soon as my game is able to load up. All right, so um, start with let's start with my collectibles. Collectibles probably haven't changed a whole lot. I've just done a little bit more like mining, because you needed those splendid sacred bombs, and through mining I've gotten a couple more world tree leaves. But again, until they release more, I guess, horizontal content, this will probably fluctuate. Maybe collected a few more Mokoko seeds here and there. No island souls, new ones at least. Everything else is more or less 100%. Ignia tokens still working on Voldus and South Remeria adventure tomes. Yeah, got Blood Claws charts, Sea Bounty still, like, never touching those again. So that's where the progress stands there. I think the more interesting thing maybe to discuss is, like, my card progression now. So I managed to pretty much max out on all the major card sets minus the fire set. So I've got, you know, LOS 30, Lost Windcliff 30, your Grandmaster's Trial, you use this in Mortem Gate 3 if you don't have the Earth set, but yeah, KLC 30. For the Spirited Flames Breath, this is a card set that you use as a DPS. I have it as 26 Awakening. Stronger Earth's Breath, this is the set for DPS to use, but again, don't have it quite complete. 28 Awakening. Swift Thunderbolt's Breath, this is the set for Brel Act, I think it was Act 2. Frozen Wildfire Protection, this is the one for Act 4, the support set. Sleeping Earth Protection, this is the one you use for Kazeros or Mortem Gate 3 if you get that unlocked. And then this is Brel Act 2, the support set, the Raging Thunderbolts Protection. So a lot of these card sets I've actually gotten done. The KR just got the new raid, and I think it's used as a different element now, or just like a different card set you gotta use. You gotta use like against Ancient or something, which, or God, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, most of my stuff is like pretty much on its way. It just comes down to retrieving the cards through whatever content we're blasting through. So there's my card progression. Don't know if there's anything really noteworthy with my achievements. We're at 69% across all achievements, but if we just want to look at some of the newest achievements I've got, you know, our Moche just didn't manage to go through it without getting a bleed. Managed to get the Death Incarnate, so defeating a Kazeros, I think, like, is it like hard mode 10 times? Yeah, there's just plenty of these that I just randomly have gotten through the new raids, I guess. So there's, yeah, I'm not gonna go through like every single achievement, but I think maybe the trophies. I don't know if there's anything new per se. I think the newest ones I've gotten just the Death Incarnate. Yeah, normal, final, normal, hard mode. Still haven't gotten Deathless in Act 4s. Yeah, it's been a while, I guess, since we really had trophy updates. But yeah, like Mortem Gate 3, Deathless was obtained like a while ago. So these 4 are the newest ones. But again, haven't gotten Deathless in Kazeros or Act 4 yet. So that has still yet to come up. So, I guess if we look at the new type guild. Now, of course, I play with a lot of people that are outside new type. But here's our running roster now. There's a lot of people who haven't logged in a while. And as I mentioned, there's people coming in and out of the game. A lot of, I don't know if they're new players, but it sounds like a lot of like alt rosters or something are coming in as Mokokos, and then but this is our like standing guild now. There's not a whole lot of us left in new type, but at least we'll play with people who are from outside, you know, in other guilds. I don't know if people are interested in like pets, but I'll flash up my pets. I've been working on getting a lot of them legendary, just so that when I run them through the stronghold farm, you know, you'll keep on accumulating the biscuits, and then I could upgrade them to get the pet skills, right, or the pet abilities. So I got pretty much all the major pet abilities. So that's the only reason why I like pets. You pay attention to them. Mounts, I've gotten a couple cool mounts since the last time, right? So I got the Mortem wings. I think, yeah, there's just a bunch of new ones. There's like the Memory Orb ones. They gave us like a bunch of free ones as well. So I pretty much have most of the free-to-play ones minus the pay-to-win ones. And then I bid on a couple ones that you know, you're able to get through the raids and stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing really else we're really progressing on horizontal content-wise. I mean, titles are titles. I don't really, you know, it sucks that titles are used as a gatekeeping, you know, kind of measuring stick, but it is what it is. It kind of proves that you've done the raid at the highest level and whatnot. Guess missing the biggest thing, roster level 358. So I guess that's what happens when you can consistently play 6 characters. But going into like how I'm feeling going into the future, you know, I think I'm gonna be rocking like kind of a top 4 characters now, and then my warrior answer and artists are kind of going to be staying behind, just because I don't want to fund them, and honestly, it's no fun if I'm playing them and you don't have the unlocked Ark grid. I could briefly talk a little about the Ark grid, but let me just go through my main, I guess, since you know, it'll showcase a lot of kind of the roster-wide sort of stuff. So again, rocking the week 3-4 title, blah blah blah. This update, they merged the elixirs and transcendence into the Ark passive system now. So my luminaries here, and then I think, yeah, there's some way to also tell where they put the transcendence, or they just got rid of it in general. But yeah, I've just been kind of haven't really touched my karma in a while. If I only get free tabs from paradise, this is where, you know, I'm kind of just funneling it into the enlightenment or evolution trees at the moment. If you guys want to check out my skins, it's just still 2nd anniversary stuff. Some, you know, I don't think my outfit's changed a whole lot. Engravings, we've been slowly making progress. This is my engravings progress. As you can see, I've got a good amount of the support related engravings done, and then all my DPS ones are kind of in the bottom of the barrel. I think my highest DPS one is the adrenaline, and the only reason why I have 10 or 2 nodes or 10 books of adrenaline is from all the free relic selectors that they give us. All the other ones that I've gotten, like Ray Captain has one, I think Grudge has like, or Cursed Daw has like 4. I only get those books from Paradise, from the Hell Keys. So that's where I'm getting most of those additional ones from. Gems, I think it's pretty standard now across every character that any character that you're pushing into endgame, it has to have minimum level 8 gems. So this is my paladin, it's got full 8, and then it's got 2 9s. But yeah, my Slayer's pretty much, it has full 8s. My Bard actually has a mix of 7 and 8, and then my Valk has mostly 8s and like 2 or 3 7s left. Cards we won't go over. Let's talk a little bit about the Ark grid. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Ark grid. It's too RNG for me. It's a pretty big gold sink, and then the rate of the core drops is pretty BS. So, I would at least do it on my main and my Valk. But after that, for alt, I don't think it's worth really putting a whole lot of gold into these systems until they nerf it or something drastic happens, right? And it is a pretty big power spike to get it activated in online. So at least in my main, I have it more or less active in online, because my CP is like 3,500, right? But just getting like the drop, like somehow I got an ancient drop, and I've got pretty much full relics except for 2 legendaries, right? And that's pretty good. I feel like some people are just getting screwed over by the core drops, and then people refuse to roll the Astro Gems, and honestly, rolling the Astro Gems is a big pain in the ass. And like, I'm not even caring about the specific effects that I'm actually rolling, right? For example, like here, I rolled like a 5/5, right? But I couldn't even care less if it's damage, additional damage, or attack power, right? And I'm playing on a support. So it is what it is. I'm mostly just rolling for just activating the Ark Grid system, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to feed into it, and that's one of my biggest complaints about kind of progressing is that if you got to do this for your alts, I really don't want to have to do it 6 times. I'll do it maybe 2 times, 3 times maybe. But all the other ones, it would be better if I would just pay the flat gold price to just blast through that system, right? And that's not even considering the fact that you have to obtain the certain cores to get the specific amount of willpower that you need to put the Astro Gems on. So we get to make a whole another video about that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm standing right now with my roster. I think I'll just showcase my main only because I don't want to keep this video too long. But mostly just talking about my roster, how I'm progressing, and how we're feeling about the newest like content and what's to kind of come in the future. Because I'm not really sure what's gonna come in the future besides the fact that I've been stockpiling gold and I have no reason to spend it. Right? Everything is kind of inflated to hell in the market, right? If we look at just engraving prices, recently, right? If you're trying to get any, like, for me to play a DPS and support characters, right? I'm gonna have to spend gold to get relic, grudge books, recaptain books. Like, that's way too expensive, and I'm not willing to shuck out from my gold. I'd rather stockpile and like work on the Ark Grid system than buy engravings, right? Or we could look at like gem prices, right? I think even gem prices are pretty ridiculous right now, right? So yeah, at the moment, like, there's no way I'm paying this much for level 8 gems. So right now, for me, it's just kind of standing pat. I think obviously because I enjoy playing my main and my Valk at least, those are going to be the 2 characters I at least push up. But kind of the other ones are going to start lagging behind just because of how much things cost and just the playability of them, right? I think we've gotten to a point in the game where there's a lot of repetitiveness with the raids and stuff, and you're just wishing for RNG drops, and then the rewards that you get for the time that you invest in is just not as worth it as it was before. So that's at least how I'm feeling, right? I mean, I'll still like play with my Slayer and my Bard, but you know, they're just not going to be as powerful. And what's the point of me playing on characters that are less powerful than the other ones that I brought up, right? I want more ways to play my main, right? And the characters that are stronger than to be forced to play these weaker characters, right? So I'll at least be sticking around until the next raid, the next 4-man raid that KR got. But I think the grind is a lot, less now, right? We've kind of made it to this big, closure of, beating kazeros, and I noticed a lot of, people did in fact like dip, and they called it there. But yeah, for me right now, we're still progressing a little bit. We'll see what happens. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if there's any other sort of content you guys want to see, I might do some videos just on like playing Paladin through kazeros hard mode, just because I'm very familiar with the fight on my Paladin at least. So if you guys, I'll probably do something like that, just as a kind of a tips and tricks thing. But yeah, that'll be for the future. So hope you guys enjoyed again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.